Good morning, everybody. Wave your hand if you can hear me. Perfect. So I have you unmuted right now. So you can, if you need to talk, please go ahead and unmute yourself. You may want to test it right now. Just to unmute yourself and then say something. It's on the, like Glenn, you're up. Oh, perfect, Glenn. How about you, Jorge? Unmute yourself so you can talk. I could always unmute you too. Jorge, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect. All right. So I'll try to unmute you guys too if you guys have any trouble. And we'll go from there. Some people are having trouble logging in. That's one of the things I want to tackle this year for you all is technology and how to use technology to expand your business. So we're going to start getting more and more people logging in now. We're just about to start. Good morning, Adita. How are you? Okay, here we go. Everybody's starting to log in at 9 o'clock sharp. Perfect. Michael, how are you? Victor, there's Victor. Good to see you all. Happy New Year's, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. You too.
All right. We'll wait a few minutes for everything to come in, but I just wanted to kind of, someone's texting me saying, where are you at? What do you mean, where are we at? Oh my gosh. Some people are not listening.
Stay here.
All right, so I'm going to start sharing my. Okay, so anyhow, it's 9:01. You guys are on time. Whoever is late is late. Just want to say Happy New Year's. We're going to start doing this on a weekly basis, and I have an invite. And in that invite, some of you declined it for today. I wish you had accepted it. So it'll be on your calendar for the next 6 months. But if you cannot attend, you cannot attend. Something happens, you've got a client, you've got a child that needs to go to school, that's okay. But make it on your calendar every Monday at 9 a.m. so it's consistent. So I want you guys to start developing consistency. One of the powerful traits of a leader is consistency. Right? As a parent, many of us have children. We know that if we're consistent in our words and our actions, our kids are going to respond accordingly. If we're always late and misinterpreting what we say, of course our kids are going to reply accordingly. So I want to be consistent. I want you guys to be consistent. So do me that favor. Make sure on every Monday it shows 9 a.m. our meeting. And we're going to use the same Zoom link every Monday at 9 a.m. Now, there might be some days where we have to meet, not meet because it's going to be a 3-day weekend or something. So I know 3-day weekends usually fall on Mondays. So those I'll let you know in advance if we don't have those meetings. But someone's having trouble logging in. I don't know what he's saying. Michael? Not you, Michael, another Michael.
I'm here.
Oh, you got in? Oh, there you are. Okay. Fantastic. Because you're texting me saying, how did you get in? All right. So let's talk about the new year. You guys are excited about the new year?
Yeah.
But I'm excited about it because it's 2017. Some of us had a great year. Some of us had a not so good year. But the great thing about that is it prepared us for 2018. And I want you guys to start thinking about how this is going to be a good year for you and start rationalizing and visualizing what is going to be possible this year. Now, I will tell you this. You all have your life and health license for the most part, right? Some of you have life only, but I presume most of you have your life and health license. Let me tell everybody that joined Strategic for the very first time, that life and health license is probably one of the most powerful licenses you'll ever get. You know, people have a securities license, a Series 6 and 63. In my opinion, it doesn't compare to a life and health license. The same for the Series 7. Yes, you can do stocks, you can do mutual funds and all that stuff, but what can you do with the life and health license? You can do life insurance. You can do retirement planning. It may not be in the stocks, but it's fixed indexed annuities. Everything a stock market person can do, you can do except put their money into the stocks. Now, but he or she cannot do life insurance, cannot do index universal life, cannot do whole life, cannot do final expense. They cannot do long-term care. They can't do disability. They can't do group health insurance. You get my drift? There's a lot you can do. Now, I don't want you to be overwhelmed by all of that stuff. Just know that wherever you go and whoever you're talking to in 2018, it's a huge opportunity for you to take over that business. What's going to be between you and taking over that business is really you. Are you willing to step up your game and take a chance and take a risk? Because I think a lot of us operate out of fear, and I do too. So we operate out of fear because I don't know enough. I'm not good enough yet. I haven't gotten enough training, but it's okay. All you got to do is just try, make mistakes, and you'll learn. So with that in mind, I want to kind of go over some stuff that happened this last week. So what I want to do is for a weekly training is I want to be able to like share with you guys what I experienced with other agents this last week or that previous week. That way we could all learn from each other. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So one of the things that I notice a lot of agents are having trouble still on life insurance. I'm going to cover some basic stuff on life insurance. Now let me see if I can share my screen. Okay. Now, again, if you have any questions, there's a little chat box. Okay. It's at the bottom. You'll see chat. Click that, type it in, and I'll get a message on that if you have a question. Or just go ahead and unmute yourself and ask the question. We're all friends, family here, so just interrupt if you need to. And if you have something important to say, or I skip something, or you have a question, please stop me. That's the only way we're going to learn, okay? Perfect. So let me share my screen real quick, and I'm going to share with you guys. Let me see. How do I do this? Okay. Share screen. I'm learning too, so trust me, guys. I'm learning as well.
What happened?
All this crazy stuff. So what I wanted to share, can you see the website? Okay, thank you, Michael, for raising your thumb. Okay, so this is going to be, I'm still working on the design, but the new back office, right now it's scfagent.com, strategic choices financial agent.com. That's the one most of you guys have been working on. We're transferring all that to this new back office called lifeagentoffice.com. lifeagentoffice.com. And I want to do this because some of you are going to be building your own team with your own agents. So I want you to be able to brand it for yourself as well. So it's going to be very generic. Even though strategic is the back office, the powered by strategic, but I want you guys starting to brand it yourself if you want to build your team. So here you'll see that we have the group E&Os already here. I'm going to start transferring more stuff about contracting and so forth. So we're going to have a lot of information here for you guys to go. The tools. Here's where we now have the live quoter here. So this is where I think some of the agents are getting tripped up still. And I want to go over it first. So for those of you who have not written a life insurance application in the last 6 months or a year, pay attention. Very easy. We have a new quoter that I purchased. It's free to you. So you're not paying for this. I'm paying for it. Now, Brokers Alliance also has a quote engine as well. But for Brokers Alliance, you've got to log in, and then make quite a few clicks. So I'm going to show you both of them. But one thing I want you to know is this quote engine has about 80% of the carriers that Brokers Alliance has. Brokers Alliance has more carriers. This one has maybe 70 to 80% of the carriers. But you're going to like this quoter because it has a lot more tools available to it. So most common on a quoter, you're going to be able to get a term return of premium, and a guaranteed universal life. Not an IUL, a whole life. Those two products need to be customized. Let me repeat that. I have a lot of agents that will call me, why can't I get an IUL quote here? Those products have to be customized. And in that case, you have to email Casey at brokersalliance.com. Or if it's a small case and I'm available, email me and you need an illustration on an IUL. I can help you with that. But Casey is available for you. He doesn't charge you. He's for free. He's there. So please take advantage of Casey. And I use the word take advantage because I want you using him as much as you can. But when it comes to term, universal life, and return of premium, here's your quoter, okay? So first thing I want you guys to see is when you click, it says fast quoter. Type in your client name. Let's say it's John. Can you guys see my screen? Just want to make sure. Okay, perfect, thank you. John Doe. I want to make sure it's in California. Here's male or female. Tobacco user right now, it's under no. If you put green, it's yes. So you click here. You can use age or date of birth. All right, you see that? So let's just go with age. Let's say we want to put 35. Now check this out, nearest age. Here's what some agents don't understand. Nearest age means the next 6 months. So if somebody is 6 months from their birth date, let's say before they turn 36, then definitely put 36 here. Some carriers will calculate by the nearest age, other carriers won't. So you definitely want to get more accurate as they are. So putting their birth date is always the best, but if you just want to go by their age, that's fine. Now, over here is where you can put your information. You don't have to put this up, but I recommend it. I'll tell you why. Because it's going to show up in the PDF if you want to send this PDF to a client. Okay, so now here's where another part. Now you're doing what is called the underwriting part. I had an agent this week send me a quote, but he didn't tell me what the health rating was. He didn't tell me the date of birth. You think those are critical? Yeah, so I'm like, great, thank you for asking for a term quote, but I don't know the date of birth and I don't know the health rating. Health rating is important. So how do you'll see 4 different ratings here. Preferred plus, preferred, standard, standard plus, and standard. There's 4 ratings when it's non-tobacco. So now the way I describe these to my clients, and I want you to do the same, standard is kind of like a couch potato. Okay, it's a couch potato. You can tell your clients, hey, do you consider yourself a couch potato? Great, I'm going to rate you as standard. And it's someone that has a little bit of cholesterol, a little bit of health issues, and so forth like that. Standard plus is someone that's a little bit of a couch potato, but they walk around, they move around, they have a job that they're moving around. They just recently saw their doctor, everything's fine. Preferred, they work out a little bit more. Preferred plus is more like a marathon runner. They exercise a lot. They pump iron. They went to their doctor. They take no medications. They don't have any issues and so forth. Here's where a lot of clients, a lot of agents do, and they make a mistake. They'll actually put the client as preferred plus, and they'll quote it. If you guys listen to the news and the radio stations and you say, hey, get term insurance, $1 million life term insurance for $19.99. Well, they quote that person as preferred plus, and it's probably a 10-year term. It's the cheapest of the cheapest of the cheapest. And don't get your clients' hopes up high, because what has happened a lot. I would say about 5 times in the last couple of years where agents lose a case because they quote as preferred, and then something comes back where it's quoted as a standard and the price went up, and the client says, oh, you lied to me. You gave me, you told me it was going to be $45. It's now $58. So don't let that be you, okay? So generally what I do is I tell my clients, I say, look, I'm going to quote you a standard. Even though you look like you're super healthy, I'm going to quote you a standard. And what's going to happen is if you come in healthier, you're going to get a reduced cost. And at that point, let's say it's standard is $50 for $100,000 of coverage, and they come in at healthier, so it's now $30 for $100,000 worth of coverage. So at that point, some agents will just sell it at $30 a month for $100,000 worth of coverage. What I would invite you guys to do is tell your client, hey, John, congratulations, you came in healthier than we expected. So you have two options. You can get the same amount of coverage, $100,000 for $30 a month, or since you're super healthy, we can get you more coverage. We can get you $125,000 for $50 a month, or $150,000. Now you're giving your clients the option to get higher coverage for the price that they're willing to pay already. And this also preserves your commission, right? Because some people say, oh my God, my commission is dropping because the health rating went down. And I think your clients will appreciate it. Some clients who are on a budget will say, thank you, I'm willing to pay $30 a month. And right there it ends. Other than that, others will say, hey, you know what? Yes, I'd like to get more coverage. So I can lock that in now. Perfect. So I normally always pick standard. Table rates. Let me talk to you about table rating. Most of the time, you're not going to select this box, so just ignore it. But the only time you're going to select this box for this area is if you know in advance that your client has diabetes. They've got a heart issue. They had cancer 2-3 years ago. So what happens in that particular case, if you know your client had some major medical issues in the last 5 years, what you're going to do is you're going to email Casey and say, Casey, hey, I have a special client who had diabetes, has a severe case of diabetes, not a minor case, just a severe case of diabetes. Casey's going to send you a questionnaire, and then you're going to fill it out and you're going to send it to him. And what he'll do is he'll research, and they have an internal team that can research all the carriers nationwide that will take that client and what rating they'll probably rate it up as. So you'll probably get a reply from Casey that would be like, hey, Alvin, the only carrier that's willing to take your client is Nationwide, and it's going to be a Table C rating. So what a Table C means is it's standard, and it's A, B, and C. So it's like 3 times less than standard. So it's going to be more expensive. So at this point, you would click Table C after Casey gives you that information. Does that make sense? Any questions so far? All right, good. So again, almost always you're going to skip this, but if you know in advance your client has medical issues, it's best to contact Casey and see if he has a questionnaire or if the client will get approved. What has also happened with other agents is that they would follow this process, and then they find out that the client is totally uninsurable because they've got major medical issues and no carrier is willing to take it. That saves you a lot of time, and it saves the client a lot of headache. Now, in that particular case, if your client is over the age of 55, they're eligible for $25,000 with American General, a special case. It's called a guaranteed issued whole life. So it means it's guaranteed issue. You can be almost on your deathbed, and they'll still approve it for up to $25,000. And I've done one policy like that where a client had cirrhosis, non-alcoholic cirrhosis. No carrier will insure her. But we got her $25,000 life insurance like that. It's like no medical questions. So if you're interested in that, you have a client that's uninsurable, you got a product that can take care of your client. So moving forward, sorry for spending a lot of time on that, but it's important to get that out of the way. Product information, how much coverage do they want? Generally, it's 5 times their salary plus their mortgage. So let's say they make $50,000 a year, and it's 5 times, so it's $250,000. Child riders. This is the most popular rider. So if the person has children under the age of 18, when you see this little number here, that represents thousands. So it's 1,000, 2,000. Your typical child rider is about $20,000. And that covers every child for one price. The average rider for children is about $10 to $11 a month. So even if you don't have a quota with you and you forget, you just tell the parents, hey, by the way, you want to cover your kids more? It's about an extra $10 a month for all of your kids, one price for all of your kids. You can do accident death benefit and waiver premium. Some carriers have it, some carriers don't. So let's focus on going back to term insurance. So take a look at the 4 products you have. You've got term life insurance, regular term insurance. You've got simplified issue. Who knows what simplified issue is? Anybody out there? Okay. No brave souls. Simplified issue is non-medical. Let me repeat that. It's non-medical, simplified issue, simplified. However, in order to get a simplified issue quote, you have to select standard. Does that make sense? Because if you select preferred plus, a simplified issue is not going to show up. Maybe with Phoenix Life, but that's about it. So that's why I invite you guys to play with this. Just test it around. Ask your brothers, sisters, family members, make up some ages, make up some clients, play with it. So we can do 3 products. We can do a 20-year term, a 30-year term, and a 20-year simplified issue. So you can only do up to 3 products. Some people try to add 4. It doesn't work. So let's view the quotes here. All right. So now you're going to see a little bit of, here's John Doe, age 35, male, California, no tobacco. Here's the agent information. Underwriting is preferred plus and a standard. How did that happen? Let me recalculate that. I got 2 boxes here. My bad. View quotes. You see how I did that real quickly? Just recalculate. Very simple. So here we got a 20-year term. And you got Sagicor Life for $32.89. See that? Lincoln for $35.42. American General, Principal, Protective, SPLI, Transamerica. You've got a lot of carriers here, but I don't recommend you picking all the carriers. Try to stick with the few carriers that are going to be the go-to every time. Sagicor Life, I tried doing them one time. Their underwriting was really, really picky. They were asking for everything for my clients. So I personally am not going to write a whole lot of Sagicor Life unless they get better and better. But yeah, they were really picky with one of my clients. And I just said, oh, I went to another carrier. The other carrier approved it pretty fast. So Lincoln's pretty good. One of my favorites, my life insurance product that I have, my wife and I have, is with American General. So they're pretty solid. Protective is really good. Transamerica is really good. Now, let me show you something about Transamerica. You're going to see Transamerica show up a couple of times. Not all the time, but several times. Right here, you see Trendsetter Super 20. That is a regular term product. But let's see if Transamerica shows up again. It didn't in this particular case. Why is that? Let's see if it's over here. It's not showing up here. Okay, there must be a reason for it. Well, once in a while, it's probably the amount or the age or something, but you'll see a Trendsetter LB for living benefits. So Transamerica has a term product with living benefits. It's probably one of the few term products. LSW also has living benefits on their term product as well. And this is non-medical express. It says express, it means non-medical. So living benefits is going to be huge. So I want you guys really thinking about living benefits. It costs more. I don't want to go into too much with living benefits, but basically it means is if you get $500,000 worth of life insurance and your client has a major heart attack or cancer and they can't get out of bed, even though they're paying $50 a month, they can probably cash out or get some cash from the $500,000 worth of death benefit. So they can settle with the insurance company and get some cash out. So that's called living benefits. So think about that as well. So, okay, now over here, 20 years simplified. A surety in this case is the only non-medical, and look at how expensive they are, $91. A little pricey. Now, if you come down to $100,000, you're going to see more options available. View quotes. You see Transamerica has 100, there's living benefits, 20 years. See that? Living benefits. So now, here where I want to show you guys. Let's say Maria, let's say your client is this age and so forth, but you're only contracted with Protective and American General. See how I check these boxes right here? Okay. And you don't want to get contracted with any other company, or maybe Transamerica too. You're only contracted with these 3 companies. And it's a small case. You don't want to go through contracting. And then what you can do is now you're going to look at the 30-year term, Transamerica, Protective, American General. Simplified, Transamerica. So you pick the carriers that you like. And you see where it says download, guys? Click download. If this pop-up does not pop up, it's because you have a pop-up blocker. So go to your browser and disable the pop-up blocker. So right here, you have the client's information, your information, and you can create the PDF. So what it's going to do is generate an actual quote. And this is what you can print out and show the client. It's really pretty. Here's a $100,000 20-year term. It's got your name, client's name. Oops. I don't know. I think that was an email. So you'll see the 20-year term, the 30-year term, and the simplified issue there. Isn't that nice? Very simple. Here's what's also cool is you can actually text that quote to somebody. Type in their number, and you have to put a little message. Just say, here's a quote from Alvin. Cancel that, or you can email the quote to, from, subject, and message. You put their email in your email. Very cool. Very easy to do. So I want you guys getting used to this. Now, some of you are asking, where do I get the application, right? Well, Letty here at the office and is here available to you. But some of these carriers, you see where it says click for more details? If you click on it, you'll get a little bit more details. And you can actually get the application. See a standard packet? You can get the 29-page application here. Now, you don't need all the pages, but here's the application. If this doesn't work or that carrier does not have it uploaded, just contact us. We're here to provide that application for you. Or you can go to the Brokers Alliance website. Go to brokersalliance.com. You're going to log into My Advisor Cloud. It's their back office. If you have never set one up, go to My Sign Up. I have set it up. Sign in. And you'll see little apps here that you can add on. Here's carrier apps and forms. And they have more carriers. And in fact, they have annuity applications here and life insurance applications. So you have access to stuff 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Not all the products are here, but most of them will be here. So let's say you wanted Foresters. New business, California. Product name, it's a term insurance. Your term, search. So you'll see all these products, the applications here. Now, everything you don't need. So if you don't need the underwriting guide, just remove it from the package. You can take a look at what you need and don't need and disable it. And if you want something like the children's writer, you're going to go down. Now, I'll tell you guys, first time doing this, it's going to be very intimidating. It's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. I'm going to repeat it again. It's okay to make mistakes. Go ahead and submit the application. If you turn in just half of it, the carrier will come back to you, or Letty might catch it, and somebody's going to catch it, and you'll learn by practicing. Okay. So a lot of these things you don't need, these brochures, you could disable them and so forth. And then you print it right here, show the package. You see, you have options to get applications. I want to show you guys. My job is to support you, but also to empower you so that, you know, you grow. And if you want to build a team and have other agents here, they're going to learn this as well. So they don't have to bother you, and both of you can grow together as well. So, so let's see what else here. Now, safe harbor term. I'm going to put, in this section, I'm going to put other carriers that I think you should have, like Foresters, safe harbor term, speed of life term. There's going to be some carriers here that I think you should definitely take a look at. Final expense. Some of you are starting to do final expense, so that makes me pretty excited that some of you are doing final expense. Brokers Alliance has a final expense. It's called Brokers Alliance. Brokers Alliance FileExpense.com. Very simple. Brokers Alliance FileExpense.com. Click on that, and you'll see their website. I know Scott was going through this last week, and no need to get contracted, because if you're contracted through Brokers Alliance already, this is mainly for new agents, but just you're already contracted through Sure I'll See if you have your E&O and everything. Just go to quotes, and you'll see final expense. California. Final expense is normally up to $25,000. It's from $5,000 to $25,000. So let's say you put $25,000. Non-smoker, gender, age of the client is 60. Are they overweight? No. Do they have any major health issues? No. Did they have suffer from diabetes or TIA in the last 2 years? No. So Royal Neighbors and Foresters are the two final expense carriers. Royal Neighbors is $91. Foresters is $83.80. Graded means if they have some health issues, it grades up. Remember guaranteed issue? I told you about guaranteed issue, guys? With no medical questions. Here it is, right here, guaranteed issue. It's $109, no medical questions at all. Now, there's a minimum of age and so forth, but here it is. So I wanted to make sure you guys start the year off right by just knowing how to do a life quote. Again, I invite you guys to practice on it and just have fun with it. Send yourself a text just so you can see what your client is going to get. And right off the bat, you're going to start learning things quickly. Any questions so far? Unmute yourself and share any questions.
What's the minimum age for guaranteed issue?
I think it's 55. It's 50 or 55.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not like a 40-year-old or 30-year-old. Yeah, because I've had a couple of people in their 30s that they're uninsurable, and I couldn't offer this product. But I think it's 50 or 55. I apologize. I don't recall. I did it about a year ago, this product. But yes, great question. Anybody else? No questions? You guys?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Is this Life Agent Office site, is that the one we should be using now? Is that live or everything, or?
What was your question? I missed that.
The Life Agent Office?
It's live now. Yes, it's live now. I just don't have all here yet. Yes, it is live.
So that's the one we should use now.
Yeah, you can use that one now. Now, I also have a product. Thank you for click. I also just installed Viva Life.
Yeah, I saw it.
I'm still building this out, but I have a quoter that I made here with my programmer. It's a little bit more expensive. It's a non-medical up to $250,000. But actually, Jorge, who's online here, he's the one that introduced me to this. So I thank you for that. It's a product that's, again, a little bit more expensive. It's ideal for your clients, couples in the 30s and early 40s. And the price is pretty right. But it's really a 3-page application, and you're done. 2-page application. The third one is just your signature and the client signature. So if you want to do a 2-page app, non-medical, with the family, so the wife, husband, and children are on the same application, you want to take a look at Viva Life. And it's with,
Alvin, your volume went way down.
oh, thank you. Okay, Viva Life. How's that? Is this better?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. So I was talking about Viva Life. You can put the husband, wife, and the child on the same application, and it's 3 pages long. On this particular page, I will have the application for you to download. I will have a sample application because it's so small. It's only literally 2 pages. The lines are really small and they get confusing, so you're gonna have to write very carefully on the application. But I will have a sample application for you guys here on this website.
Is that term only?
I'm sorry?
Is that term only, or is there a UL?
No, it's a term, 20-year term, as a matter of fact. It's only
Okay.
a 20. So yes, you can quote right here. It's very simple. I'll do a quick little quote for you. Enter your name. I'll put Scott here. Alvin, I'm your client. I'm, 30 years of age. Yeah, right. Okay. So tobacco, yes, no. Right out. There's 6 different options: 25, 50, 100, 150, 250. So let's have 150. The premium right there is $23.22. So it's very affordable for a younger person. Automatically calculates accidental death benefit. What's an ADB? An ADB means that if the client dies of natural causes, he gets $150,000. But if he dies in an accident, it doubles. So I'll get 300. My family will get $300,000. So you can tell your client, do you want to double your coverage for an additional $13 a month? If he or she says no, just press 0 here. It drops to 0. Children, do they have children? Yes, no. If yes, it's $6.48 for all of them for $10,000 worth of coverage. That's it. They don't have a $20,000 or anything. It's a fixed amount. Do you want to add your spouse to the coverage? If yes, how old is your spouse? You can change the premium, anything less than the husband. So, and then that's it. It gives you a total. You can print a little quote here and print the report or download the PNG. There it is, $61. So this will be a very easy product to do if you have a younger couple, especially some of you guys are working with younger couples. Maria, you have a tax office, right? You run taxes, so tax season is going to be hot. You have a couple that's in their 30s. This also takes TIN numbers. So if you have somebody that's not a U.S. citizen, this will take a TIN number or a Social Security number. No questions asked. So just run this quote, fill out the application, and fax it in. Now you need to get contracted through Leti. This is not through Brokers Alliance. It's with the carrier direct. So, and I'll have that information on this section right here of the page. So yeah, so these are some 2 good things going. Any other questions on the life products? No questions?
Hey, Alvin,
Yes.
can I make a suggestion?
Yes, sir. Yes, Glenn.
When you do those lowball quotes that these people get off the radio, you send them a quote. Make sure you show them the quote what happens after the 10th or 20th year. So they're not going to take your plan or the better plan the first year. But if you show them at the end of the 10th year that $20 a month premium now becomes $100 a month. So you go back the second year and when you do a review, talk to them about what's going to happen at the end of the 10th year.
Absolutely, and I think that comes with training. So you're basically, as agents get more and more familiar and comfortable with life insurance, Glenn is right, absolutely right. Most family members that never had life insurance, transitioning them into term first is the most important thing. And then a year later or 2 years later, you can talk to them, like Glenn says, during your annual review. You can say, hey, you know what? It's going to, and 20 years, it's going to expire. So let's take a look at permanent coverage. Some people want permanent coverage right off the bat. So don't hesitate to offer that right off the bat. So yeah, thank you for that, Glenn. But yes, everybody just know that as you get comfortable with life insurance, one of the things you want to do is definitely talk to your clients about transitioning to permanent insurance. But term is always that entry point. Like I have term right now. I don't have permanent insurance because I'm probably going to cancel that soon because it's the easiest product to cancel and transition to a permanent product. When once
Yeah,
things
just make sure you keep that illustration.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Glenn, for that. Any other questions on life insurance? I want to kind of transition a little bit to annuities because it's going to start picking up this year. Now, Michael Oconotrillo, you mind if I share your that statement you got?
I don't mind. Can you block out the name somehow?
I'll keep it very blurry. Let's see if I don't know if I can block it out, but
If not, don't worry about it.
yeah, how about this? I know what to do. Whoops. Let's see. Let's see if I can zoom in here. It gets tricky having all these different. All right, I'm going to zoom in. Okay, there we go. That's how I block it off. All right, can you guys see this screen or not? Can you see a statement here?
Nope.
Nope.
Now we see the computer screen.
So let me see if I can, that's right. So let me see if I can, I have to download it. Let me save it here. How do you save this here? God dang it. All right, sorry guys, I'm trying to figure out how I can save this. Because I have a Mac built in with the PC, so I'm always going back and forth. Okay, so let me downloads. Okay. Now you should be able to see it. Do you see it now? Okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is one of two statements that I think Michael sent me. Okay, so you'll see. All right, well, that's I'm going to quickly go through the client's name real quickly because usually sometimes on the statement, some agents, especially newer agents who really want to take off in their business, annuities is going to be very important. I know some of you already write annuities, like Glenn is a huge annuity producer. Now, one of the key things is kind of understanding the statement. First off, I will tell you, get the statement. This is half of the job. If you can get the statement, it's half the job. A few years ago, I had an agent who was heavily involved in, worked in the school district. And he wanted to do 403Bs. And he said he went through a training at another agency, came to my training, and he learned more with us, but he still didn't know how to do it. And I just told him, just get a copy of the statement. And once he got a copy of the statement, and within 3-4 months, he did 3 or 4 403B rollovers. And I said, just get the statement. So here's where it works. So now, in this particular case, you'll see the statement, but on the top right, you'll obviously see the carrier. But right here, somewhere around here, you're going to see the plan. Is it a 401k plan? Is it an IRA? Is it a SEP? Somewhere here, or Roth IRA is going to say that. Now, if it doesn't say any of that, it might say it over here where the client's name. So just know that somewhere on the application, it's going to try to identify what kind of money it is. If it doesn't say anything at all, then it's probably a non-qualified brokerage account. Okay, so you'll probably see it somewhere. Look for IRA, look for 401k, look for 403B, SEP, pension plan, whatever. If it doesn't say any of that, it's probably non-qualified then. Okay, so now you'll see the other question that agents get on annuities and they get stumped up on is it'll ask you, where is it currently invested in? And people will put, well, it's currently invested in, they'll say Fidelity. No, they want to know what type of product. In this particular case, you see how it has different allocations, stable funds, large cap. It's a mutual fund or a stock market account. And you can tell it went up $3,500 in the last, since, 2-3 months, which is great. This last year was pretty strong. So this is what you need. Basically, you'll see the balance here. Once you've got the balance, now we can start looking at options. The next thing I need from you guys is, how old is this client? Are they under the age of 50? What's really important for myself and for you as agents is to know how close is the client from retirement? Are they 10 years or less from retirement? And if they are, then we need to treat them a little different. We got to look at whether they want an income for life, whether or not they need liquidity right off the bat. What are their needs? But for anybody younger, the age of 50, 55, then we want to treat it as a regular annuity with the best accumulation possible. And we're just going to do a rollover. So if you tell me their age and it's 30, fantastic. We're just going to look for the best annuity possible to roll over this money, right?
Alvin.
But, yes.
She is under 50.
She's under 50. Okay. Then we're just going to look for the best accumulation annuity. And that's the word you want to use. So you can send an email to me or Aaron, more likely Aaron. Say, Aaron, I have a client that has $89,000. She's 47 years of age. Can you find me the best accumulation annuity? I want to have a 10-year contract. I don't want anything longer than 10 years. Boom. And he'll do that. Now, if the client is less 55 and the client is looking for a lifetime income, and the way I explain my client is when I talk to somebody in their late 50s, 60s, I'll say, hey, John, great. It's good that you saved $100,000. Now I know you want to protect it with this annuity. You want to make sure you're out of the stock market and you get some good rates. But I also want to tell you, what are your goals with this $100,000? Do you want to just leave it in there and it's extra money? So it could be extra money for you to take out as you need. And I like to call that a flexible plan. It's flexible for your needs in the future. Or do you want to leave it for your children? You don't need it. You're just going to leave it as much as you can for your children, your beneficiaries. The third one says, or do you need this money to live off of? Because Social Security or pension plan may not be enough. So if they fall into that third category and they say, Alvin, you know what? I got a small Social Security check coming in, and you know what? I probably need to live off of this money. Well, let's try to convert it into a monthly paycheck, like a second Social Security check. And in that case, we can start trying to convert it. So this really, guys, this is all we need is this page, these pages to know where it's coming from. Like Ipsos makes no sense to me, but it's coming from Prudential. Ipsos is the company, I presume. Right? Okay. It's coming from Prudential. You'll see the address there, Scranton, Pennsylvania. That's important. Now, what you want to do too, if you can, with your client, is call Prudential, and they usually have an 800 number. There it is, 877-PRU-2100. So you'll get on the phone with let's say, Michael, you're my client. I'll get on the phone. We'll call Prudential and says, hi, my name is Alvin. I'm a financial advisor. I'm representing Michael. He's currently has an account with you guys, and the account number is blah, blah, blah. And if there is no account number here, their account number is their Social Security number. Okay. So you get on the phone. My name is Alvin. Michael is my client. They're gonna want to speak to Michael and say, Michael, give me your Social Security, give me your date of birth, give me your, when was the last time you worked at this company? And then at that point, they'll say, Michael, do you give me authorization to talk to Alvin? Yes. Okay. So then I'm on the phone with Prudential, and I say, like, my client is interested in doing a rollover from your 401k to an IRA. I have a couple of questions. First, what do you need? Is there a form that Michael has to fill out today to approve the IRA? Or do you just need a letter from the new carrier? And that's called a letter of acceptance. Okay. Now, some carriers like Fidelity and Vanguard, they actually need the client to send something, and they'll send the check to the client's house in the name of the new carrier. So just know that there are a few carriers out there. I know for a fact, Fidelity and Vanguard, they will not roll over the money with the letter from the carrier directly. The client has to call, has to fill out some paperwork, and they usually send the check to the client's house. So you may want to take a few minutes to clarify this with the carriers so that you guys can expedite this whole process. Now, if you want to get paid faster and the client wants to move the money quicker, you can also ask a third option and say, hey, my client would like to roll this over today. Can you guys liquidate the account and write out a check to the new carrier and mail it to him today or tomorrow? And most mutual fund companies could. Okay, so when you get comfortable and you start doing a few of these, you're going to probably be in that position where you just want to ask and say, hey, let's get this check written out today, because the clients want to move the money and you guys want to move it to get paid faster, right? And sometimes it happens, and otherwise, you know, if they don't allow that to happen, then obviously you're just going to have the new carrier, whether it's Athene, North American, National Western, American Equity, whatever it is, you're going to fill out that paperwork. You're going to submit the application with a copy of this page of the statement, and they're going to contact, you know, Prudential and say, Prudential, Michael is now our new client. Please roll over the money here. That whole process takes anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks. Any questions so far on this? The point I want to say is you guys can make a lot of money this year, because I think people are getting nervous about the market, but you got to just ask for this statement. So a lot big kudos to Michael. I don't know how you got it. So how did you get it? So just share with everybody how easy it was. I think it was easy, right?
Yeah, it was my buddy's wife. She is currently not working, so this is obviously one. I gave you two statements. They're both from previous jobs, so she's currently looking for work. But yeah, I briefly, like a month ago, kind of just mentioned it to him, and last night I was at their house chatting, and he showed me the statements. I kind of briefly gave him some options, but I told him I'd do something more formal. And before I left, I was like, dude, do you mind if I take a photo of this just so I can do proper numbers with the hypotheticals? And he was like, yeah, sure. So there you go.
Perfect. That was it. See how simple that was? If you can get the copy of the statement and move forward. Now, what I will invite you to do, well, this is good to get it going for now. There's an app called Genius Scan. It allows you to not only take a picture, but it converts the picture into a PDF. So that way you could add it to the application, anything like that. So Genius Scan. Download it in your smartphone. Instead of just taking a regular picture, you can convert the picture to PDF. So that perfect. Everything you did, Michael, was perfect. I'm gonna get a formal proposal for you. Let me review it, see your options. Given that she's younger, you don't need to talk about income for life or any of that. You can mention in the sense that, hey, when this matures, and when you turn closer to 60, you may want to take a look at an income for life option as well. So, but in the meantime, our goal is to protect and grow your money as much as we can. So I'm telling you guys, if you guys get these statements, it's 50% of the work, because that means the client is willing to trust you already. So do whatever it takes to get this. Now, here are some concerns. Obviously, the objection is, oh man, I'm doing so well in the stock market. I'd like to, probably stay in the stock market a little longer. One of my objections to overcome is, great, just like Las Vegas, sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. Sometimes it's easier to cash out while you're ahead. Wouldn't you agree with that? So you're ahead right now. We don't know what the market is. One bad year can wipe out the last 2-3 years of gains. And and some people are, you know, they just might want to look at that. I've had a lot of clients this year. Unfortunately, they say, I want to stay in the market. Yeah, dang it. And that's why we have the alternative investments of that 7.5%, because it's a 1-year contract and it's an IRA, but they need to qualify for that. So if they don't have $250,000 of assets or more, then they don't qualify. So that is a little bit on that. Any other questions on getting this statement? No questions? Dang, we're that good. Who else is out there? All right, so what can you do to get this statement? Now, I want to, some of you are thinking, okay, it's a new year. I have no clients. I don't know anybody. I'm shy. Okay, well, I would tell you, some of you have a LinkedIn account. Do you have LinkedIn? Some of you have LinkedIn. If you don't, I invite you to get involved in LinkedIn. I'm going to show you my LinkedIn account right here. I'm not a big fan of LinkedIn because I just thought it was a glorified resume, right? And as I start learning more and more about LinkedIn, I'm pretty impressed at the power it is. So you can start meeting people and so forth. Now you can check in your network. You can start looking at different people that you have, but you could also start searching for teachers. You can see people like this Barbara Allered Smith. She's a 2nd generation. She's the executive director of Fontana Teachers Association. I don't know her personally, but someone I know knows her. And look at, she's the executive director of the Fontana Teachers Association. So if I wanted to get into the 403B market, I try to set something up with her and say, hey, you and I know Mary. I'd like to introduce myself. Here's Jesse Tank. He's the executive director of the North Orange County United Teachers Association. You see how powerful this is? It's just so there's information at your fingertips that I'm, you know, if you want to make 2018 one of your most amazing years, here's an opportunity to just do a little bit of research and start learning how to find people. So there's keywords right here. You can do a title. Let's say you want to look for CEOs in, you know, greater Los Angeles area. You can start looking for, there's EJ Granger. I have no idea. I have a 3rd connection to her. Joshua Stevens, Luke Kim. See, I got all these different CEOs that I potentially can connect with, okay, in the greater Los Angeles area. So there are things that you can start doing now to start learning about what's possible out there. Some of you already got some, you know, leads, you're networking, you're with chambers of commerce, you're part of Kiwanis clubs and so forth like that. This is the year to start talking about your business in a different way and telling people, hey, this is what I help people protect and grow their money and their families and so forth. So this is another thing. Now, if you haven't set up a LinkedIn account, I'm going to do a class on LinkedIn, okay? Not now, but I want you to start open an account, get familiar with it, start inviting your friends, and start learning how to use it right now, because it is more powerful than I had originally thought. I confess, I just didn't really care for it that much because, again, it looked like a glorified resume, but now I realize how powerful it is to research people and research potential connections. And some really good connections I made, they contacted me through LinkedIn as well. So pretty powerful as well. Now, I know a few of you do 403Bs, like Rocio does 403Bs. Lauren is not here, but he does 403Bs. Anybody else? Jose did some 403Bs and so forth. There's a website called 403bcompare.com. On this website, you can see every single school district and which carriers they offer. Now, you don't have to go through all of this because for the most part, most carriers will offer North American and LSW for when it comes to annuities. So anybody want to name a school district out there, something that you're Ally Unified and any other school district that you're familiar with? Somebody went to a school district in California other than Ally Unified? Anybody? Come on, somebody out there, come on. Scott, which school district did you go to? Is it still in existence?
Oh. No, I was in the East Coast.
You're in the East Coast, okay. Well, do you know anything in LA or LA County? Which school district?
Oh, you got South Pasadena right there. That's by
Well,
you.
okay. I got South Pasadena. So you click on S. Let's go to, or you can just type it in. Perfect.
Arcadia, San Marino, those are great districts.
Right. South Pasadena Unified, you click on it. And you'll see that their TPA is schools first. That means they're the ones that are like the school contracts out with them to run their 403B plan. So you're communicating with them to do the rollover. There isn't really anybody at the school district that runs all that stuff. Now, how to get into the school district, how to get into the classroom and so forth and make a presentation is a whole different conversation. And if you're interested in that, we can talk about that. Right here, you'll see the salary reduction agreement. So this allows, let's say the teacher wants to set up a 403B and put away $500 a month. Here's the actual agreement. In addition to the North American application or the LSW application, this is the form that you will fill out. It's around here somewhere. Dang it, it's somewhere around here. It's a 2-page application. Here it is. Retirement forms. 403B distribution and authorization form. There it is. So in addition to the application, you're going to submit this to the schools first, and it's going to take $500 out of their paycheck on a monthly basis. You get the client to sign it, you fill it out. So there is a process to do this. Some agents are, they live off of 403Bs. That's their livelihood. And it's pretty cool. So there, again, what am I trying to emphasize today? There are tools at your fingertips, and it's called technology that's going to make you more successful than you can ever imagine. But don't be dependent on tools. Don't say, well, I don't have the tool, therefore I cannot be successful. It takes you to do it. Does that make sense? So we've done an hour already. So I promise we'll try to keep it within an hour. And again, next week we'll go over some more stuff. If you have any question, anybody have any questions right now, so you start making some money this week? Because I know when things were tough for me, I made it. I always thought, okay, what's my goal for this week? I want to earn an extra $500 this week, $1,000 this week. What do I need to do to earn that? And that's going to help operate your business. The other thing that I also did is I did a target for the month when it comes to annuities, because annuities, frankly, I'll be honest with you, is going to be the biggest commission product for everybody here, and it's great for the client. So if you put a target of, let's say, $50,000 in annuity rollover per month, that could earn you a good $2,000 to $3,000 that month. For some people, $2,000 to $3,000 doesn't sound like a lot. For other people, like, wow, I made $2,000 to $3,000 on just one rollover or 2 rollovers. And then you do that every month. That's an extra $25,000 for the whole year. So think about a target of how much can I do. Michael, you're already ahead of your target. So you've got potentially $115,000. So, and if you keep that up to $100,000 a year, a month, I'm sorry, is that your target? So you should, I think you should be gunning for $100,000 rollover per month, whether it's your alternative investments or your annuities. If you can focus on that, boom, you're going to be making an extra $60,000 to $100,000 at the end of the year. So that's how powerful this industry is. Don't forget about life insurance. Don't forget about group health insurance and other products available out there as well. So again, focus this week. If you guys could think about everybody that I talked to could be a potential client or they know somebody. Like Michael went out to dinner with some friends and just mentioned, hey, you got any old rollovers? So, and that's how he's got a potential $115,000 in rollovers, $120,000 in rollovers. He just asked. And you're 2-3 degrees of separation from potentially great business opportunity, but you've got to ask. So with that in mind, any questions for me? If not, let's wrap it up. I'm going to double check the chat box. Oh, actually, I do have some questions in the chat box. Do I? Ah, okay. Sorry, Rocio, thank you. I didn't catch this, so I had the screen up. Rocio mentioned El Monte, so, and then minimum age for a guaranteed issue. We talked about that as well. All right, guys, have a wonderful, powerful week. I appreciate this, and I hope you like this. It allows you to work out of home, a little bit more flexible. It's not that I don't want to see you. I just want to make it easier for you to make money and get this information out to you in the training faster so that we can all get out in the field and start doing things.
Thank you. Great info.
Awesome. Awesome. And we're going to be providing this. But for next week, if there's something you want to discuss or have a product or questions in mind, or you can give me some ideas what to cover, like I'll come up with stuff all the time. But if you want to hear something, just email me during the week. All right, guys? Then
Sounds good.
Have a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing the statements flowing on in, the questions, and so forth, so that you can have an amazing 2018. We here at the office, Letty, Yvonne, myself, we're committed to you guys. So just let us know when you need us. All right, guys, I'm going to say goodbye. Take care. Bye-bye.